Hey guys, Silverlord here, back again with another edition of Flashback Fridays, and what I have for you today is the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman White Knight Jack Napier, aka the Joker. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, since I no longer have the packaging for this figure, let's just take a look-see at his accessories, starting off with the collectible trading card, which features some artwork from the source material, which, if you guys know me, you know I tend to prefer artwork from the source material over photography of the figure itself. But that said, give McFarlane Toys' photography guy or girl, I don't know, a little bit of credit because they have been improving quite substantially. There's a bio on the back that you can pause and read at your own leisure, because I actually am unfamiliar with how Joker works in this storyline. Is he the good guy? He's wearing a police uniform here, so I'm willing to bet maybe he is. Should be kind of interesting. That said, he comes with this super long pistol. Yeah, a gun with a DC Multiverse figure. Who'd have thought, right? Either way, is a super long pistol. Has a little bit of give to it, but not a ton. And maintains its shape quite well. You can hold it in his right hand there. Then he also comes with a Jack Napier head sculpt, which I almost think is the one he was packaged with, but I cannot remember to save the life of me, because this figure came out in 2020, back when one of the best DC Multiverse figures, Azrael, also from White Knight, came out, so my memory is a bit cloudy on that. But there is the Jack Napier head sculpt. A little bit less crazy looking, but still very stylized and cartoony, which I like about this figure. But before I get too far ahead of myself, I'd like to give a shout out to my good buddy Rusty, aka Skullified, over on Instagram. I will leave a link in the description below to his Instagram. Head on over there, give him a follow, let him know Overlord sent you. But as always, don't be a dick, I'll find you, because he was nice enough to trade me this figure for the Demogoblin torso, the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Demogoblin torso that I got from T-Biz last week. So, as far as I'm concerned, fair trade for me. Taking a closer look at good old Mr. J here. Comes with the McFarlane Toys Hockey Puck display stand, which we're used to seeing in this line, which, by the way, buddy, you owe me one of these. It's not that big a deal. I had a crap ton of these sitting by my review set anyways, so I at least had one for the review. And they all look the same, so it's not like he comes with a specific one. But for those of you wondering how easy the head is to pop off, it's fairly easy. It's not that hard at all. I'd say it's one of the easiest heads to pop off in this line. That said, as far as articulation on this guy goes, you can't really look up and down that much. It's pretty restricted. A little bit of tilt. Side to side's fine. He's got that big chin. You know, hold on. Let me see here. How easy is this head to pop? Okay. There he is with the Jack Napier head. Because I doubt I'm ever going to use this. Putting the Joker head back on. I much prefer that. A lot more character there. As far as the shoulders go, you can go out to the side pretty far. It's got that butterfly swivel thingy in there. It doesn't work that great though because of the vest. It's got a bicep sole pretty loose on that side. Pretty loose on both sides, so curious about that. Double jointed elbow, which looks pretty clean. All things considered. It's a little flat, but not bad. Definitely better than some of the cut joints we've been seeing lately. It's got a ball hinge wrist, so it can rotate where they plug into the arm and into the hand itself. That works fine. Torso, It's not like a lot of the Multiverse figures I've been reviewing lately, which have this big tube thing in their torso. And there's a ball joint up here, a ball joint down here. This guy has that ball hinge ratcheted joint that they used to use, but I think they stopped using because of how fragile it can be. I wouldn't say I'm worried about this guy breaking, but he can only tilt, really. He can't really lean forward. You can do this, but I can't get this joint to rotate sideways in his torso, in his waist there. It does not want to go. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. It does work, but it does not allow him to crunch forward, really, because it is stuck at the sideways angle here. And I cannot get it to budge in the waist area. Oh, wait, I might have just got it too. No. So yeah, I can't get it to actually crunch. So that's kind of a bummer. But maybe some heat will fix that. I don't know. I have no idea. But either way, it is what it is. As far as his hips go, he can kick out. Can move forward and back. Nice tight hips on this guy. What happened to the slime, man? They used to have really nice tight joints. Double jointed knee. Looks pretty clean. A little flat, but not terrible. Way better than some. And he's got the ball hinge feet, which work pretty good, actually. He's got the sole up there, rocker down there, and he's got the toe joints, which I think both of them are pretty tight and neutral. And he doesn't have the ball hinge thing going on, really. The detents. They're pretty movable, I'll say. He's got an open hand on this side, so you could put, I don't know, something in there. But as far as getting this long pistol in there, it's pretty easy to do. You just want to line his finger up with the trigger guard there, and there you go. There he is with his pistol. Looking pretty cool. That's how I'll display mine, anyways. There. But yeah, that is Jack Napier in a nutshell, aka Mr. J. Looking pretty cool. And another fine addition to this White Knight line. I really like this line. I hope we get more characters from it. Not a whole lot of plans to do that right now, fortunately, but you know, fingers crossed we get some more, because I wouldn't mind seeing if Bane was in this story, what he looked like, or Scarecrow, some of my favorites. I'm unopposed to that. That said, I unfortunately do not have any of my White Knight figures handy for size comparisons, because the White Knight Batman is on the White Knight Bat Cycle, which, spoiler alert, we're going to be taking a look at for next week's Flashback Friday. But long story short, that figure is a pain in the ass to get on there, and I refuse to take them off. That said, my Azraels are also buried on my DC Multiverse shelf, and I can't get to them at this current time. But I was able to get a couple of comic book style Jokers from this line out for size comparisons. So without further ado, as I used to say, let's now move on and take a look at those size comparisons. First up, and as promised, here's our Jack Napier Joker from Batman White Knight, next to the Rebirth Joker and the Three Jokers Comedian from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line. And as you can see, of the three, it appears that the Jack Napier Joker is the shortest. Almost makes you think that McFarlane Toys was going closer to a 6-inch scale than a 7-inch scale for a while there. But at any rate, if I had to pick a favorite amongst the three of these, aesthetic-wise, definitely goes to the Comedian. But as far as being the better figure, I gotta give it to Jack Napier Joker, because, well, I just have more fun posing him around, to be perfectly honest with you. And last but certainly not least, we have our 2 regulars, the Mythic Legions for the Mandibulas. Living spawn as usual, towers over everyone. And spoiler alert, Al Simmons effing hates clowns. Remember that. So with all that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and out of all of the White Knight figures I've taken a look at on this channel, which is pretty much all of them but the 2-pack at this point, I believe, Jack Napier, while he's not my favorite, he is definitely a fine addition to that collection, which, in my opinion, doesn't need to be in scale with the rest of the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line. Yeah, it's a little bit on the short side compared to the rest of it, but in my opinion, it's a set that can hold its own and stand out on its own without needing to be in scale with the rest of the line, which is something I kind of like about the DC Multiverse line from McFarlane Toys. Each storyline has its own scale going for it. Whether or not that's accurate is another story, but in my opinion, this is definitely a figure you want to check out if you haven't already. You might want to do it sooner rather than later because he's starting to go for a little bit more than, well, $30 nowadays, which is getting close to double retail if you do the math. That said, I do want to point out that the ab crunch on this figure does actually work. He's got a forward and back ball hinge in his torso as well, not just the side-to-side one. It was just a little stuck on mine and super tight, so be careful with that. You don't want to break that joint. I know some of those joints are a little bit on the fragile side, and if you ask a buddy of mine, it's not Italian either. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Flashback Fridays. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. While you're at it, don't forget to hit up my good buddy Rusty, aka Skullified, over on Instagram. I will leave a link in the description below to his Instagram. Head on over there, give him a follow, let him know Overlord sent you. But as always, don't be a dick. While you're at it, don't forget to hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil. The world sucks enough as it is, especially when... What is the storyline with this? Is Joker a good guy now? That's just weird, man. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.